Interesting facts about famous people.
Western crossover movies. Westerns combined with comedy, science fiction, musicals, and more. Some say in many ways the Western genre is dead. I think of it as the genre that just won't lie down and die. Kind of like trying to put down an old dog. The Western keeps coming back, in unexpected places and times. Not always in the traditional sense we're used to seeing. Survival of the fittest. The Western genre is a long way from dead. Today let's look at some of our favourite Western crossover films. Back to the Future, Part 3. Sci-Fi and Western. Add some comedy and you have the perfect cowboy movie in Back to the Future, Part 3. Director Bob Zemeckis as Marty McFly and Doc Brown travelling from 1985 to 1885. McFly faces off with Biff Tannen's ancestor, Buford, Mad Dog Tannen, in a showdown, and Doc finds the love of his life with a woman who loves Jules Verne. Part 3 is definitely filled with nods to both genres, with names like Clint Eastwood, the town saloon, and a runaway steam locomotive that transforms into a hover train. Paint Your Wagon isn't as bad as everyone makes it out to be. Some may cringe at the idea of Clint Eastwood singing. Far worse voices in the music industry are out there. This musical is more Western than musical, co-starring Lee Marvin and Gene Seberg. While there were other musicals such as Oklahoma and Seven Brides for Seven Brothers that use the Old West genre, but light on the elements that make great Westerns, this is where Paint Your Wagon takes its place. Rango doesn't make this list on technicalities. This was one of the best animated films made in recent years and captures the important iconic elements of some of the best and most unique Westerns. With stylistic influences to the great Westerns, Rango takes a pet chameleon and throws him into a strange scenario with shades of The Man with No Name. Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior. A gun-wielding hero. Settlers and a band of nefarious types who ride into town says everything the classic Western should be. Director George Miller's Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior, is in a wasteland, where the baddies are a gang trying to steal the oil from settlers. A man who wandered into the wasteland, Mel Gibson's Max, arrives to save the day in his souped-up vehicle. If you listen, you can hear the sound of Clint Eastwood's spurs throughout. Red Sun. With Seven Samurai inspiring the Magnificent Seven, it was only a matter of time before someone combined the samurai with the Western genre. It looks like Red Sun, an excellent combination. Director Terence Young puts together Charles Bronson and Toshiro Nifun on the big screen. The meeting of two cultures with a common goal against the same enemy. The gunslinger and the samurai work together in ways that are as exciting as it is unexpected. Sukiyaki Western Django. Filmmaker Takashi Miike takes combining East and West one crazy step further in Suzuki Western Django. Inspired by Sergio Leone's spaghetti westerns, a stranger meets two rival clans, both seeking wealth in a small town. The gunslinger negotiates his services with both sides to take advantage of the situation. Takashi Miike adds his own flair in both the characters and styles in this movie. Westworld. Why don't you make arrangements to take our hovercraft to medieval world, Roman world, and Westworld? Contact us today or see your travel agent. Boy, have we got a vacation for you. Not really the one those guests of the Delos Resort had in mind. Michael Crichton's Westworld pits holidaymaker Richard Benjamin against a gunslinger, Yul Brynner, in a gunfight. The premise that's not entirely too far-fetched. This version of the classic Westerner depicts a futuristic adventure crossover. This time, the conflict is between robots and cowboys. Blazing Saddles. This comical parody, Mel Brooks' take of the Old West, will seem like an unlikely choice. but it's so hilarious it had to be in the list. Blazing Saddles has all the necessary elements of the classic Western. Brooks turns it all into a farce, pushing the boundaries and making fun of the inherent flaws in the genre. The Black Sheriff Bart, played by Cleveland Little. Gene Wilder plays Jim, the cowardly deputy. The comic cast runs away with their exaggerated stereotypes while delivering dialogue that is often politically incorrect, but intelligently appropriate. I don't think you could make this movie today.
These things are defective.
Right as usual, sir.
Billy the Kid vs. Dracula, a horror western directed by William Bodine. The film is about Billy the Kid, Chuck Courtney, trying to save his fiancée from Dracula, John Carradine. The film was originally released as part of a double feature along with Jesse James Meets Frankenstein's Daughter in 1966. Both films were shot in 8 days at Corringville Movie Ranch and at Paramount Studios in mid-1965. Both were the final feature films of director Bodine. The film centers on Dracula's plot to convert Billy the Kid's fiancée, Betty Bentley, into his vampire bride. Cowboys vs. Aliens. A spaceship arrives in Arizona, 1873, to take over the Earth. Starting with the Wild West region, a posse of cowboys and natives are all that stand in their way. This is a great movie, imaginative, exciting, fun and not filled with the usual cliches. The acting is marvellous from the entire cast. The effects are pretty good, it's well thought out and believable. There is just the right amount of bloodshed and violence, not over the top, and no silly love story to slow the pace down.